If you're grinding for diamonds, super rares, or even great ones in the hunter call of the wild, I'm sure you've heard the term herd management. Today, I'm going to break down the four fundamental parts of herd management: drink zones, main zones, exterior zones, and solo zones. Once you understand how these four pieces work together, your grind is going to become way more efficient. So let's get right into it. What's going on? It's your boy, the Boogeyman, and today we're talking about herd management. I'm going to give you all the information to make your grind as efficient as possible. And the first thing that we're going to talk about today is drink zones. But before we talk about drink zones, I want to put a caveat in here. Herd management takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort. It's not easy. It's going to be a process, so just keep that in mind. But the first thing we're going to talk about is your species drink zones. What you want to do is you want to find all of your drink zones for your species. It's very important that you find all the drink zones, because if you don't find all your drink zones before you start herd managing, you end up shooting an animal at a zone and it might not show back up and it disappears. That's because it's an inconsistent spawn because you haven't found all your drink zones. So it'll disappear somewhere else. And when you go and you do find all your drink zones, it'll end up incorporating itself into a new herd somewhere else because the map has established the population on the drink zone that you found. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is main zones. So after you found all your drink zones, and you might have to go through your map a few times to find all your drink zones, you're going to want to pick main zones. And I'm going to give you an example of a main zone of mine. This is one of my main zones. I have two different herds here. One herd isn't here right now, but I have two different herds here. And there's two males and a female in each herd. And when you're running around your map looking for your main zones, you might find zones that already have a max level, max weight, dime potential animal in that zone. That zone is a zone that you would want to make a main zone. It makes everything easier for you along the way. So you'll go through the map and you'll pick your main zones. And ideally, you'll want 12 main zones. You could pick 10, you could pick 14, but ideally, you'd want 12. And you can pick the main zones pretty much wherever you want. Once you've established all your main zones, you're going to cycle through your main zones and you're going to shoot your males in your main zones. And you're going to start stacking dimes in your main zones. Max weight, max level, dime potential animals. You're going to continue doing that. You're not going to worry about your solos or exteriors. You're going to stack your diamonds. Once you get to 12 to 15 diamonds stacked in your main zones, you're going to leave your main zones alone, and then we're going to move on to the next part, which is your solos. So once you get all your diamonds stacked in your main zones, the first thing you want to do is shoot down your solos. And the reason you want to shoot your solos down first is because all those max weight, max level diamonds in your main zones are going to cause small, low level, low weight animals to spawn more frequently in the beginning. And solos are hard to deal with. They're harder than your exteriors to deal with. So you're going to want to go out to your solos and you're going to want to shoot them down. And it's going to take a while because you shoot a solo, you have to go find it, track it down, figure out where it went. If it's still a higher level, you're going to have to shoot it and shoot it down. And one of the things about solos is you can leave it one level higher. Like you want to typically have it at a low level, a low trophy rating. But in the example of moose, a solo, you could leave a level 3 and a trophy rating of 150 or less. That would be fine for a solo. So once you've found all your solos and shot them down, you would move on to your exteriors. But first, I want to mention that sometimes solos can hide in herds and make it look like it's part of the herd. And the only way to know for sure whether an animal is a solo or not is to spot it and then go and check its drink zone foot tracks. That's the only absolute definitive way to tell an animal is a solo. So the moose I'm currently spotting right here, this is a solo. He's mixed in with herds, but he is actually a solo, and this can be the hardest part of shooting down your solos because sometimes they just mix in with herds. So it's important that you figure out whether it's a solo or not. So now that you've shot all your solos down, we move on to exteriors. And once your solos are shot down, you leave them alone. You don't touch them anymore. So when we move on to our exteriors, your exteriors are going to be every zone that is not a main zone. And since your main zones are stacked full of diamonds, every other zone is an exterior zone. You're still going to leave those diamonds stacked in your main zones, and now you're going to shoot down the rest of your zones. And since the solos have been shot down, the exteriors is going to work the same way. You are going to go cycle around each exterior zone, shooting your animals down to a low level, low weight. And then once that zone is shot down, you'll leave it alone, you'll pack up, and you'll move to another exterior zone. You'll shoot animals down to a low weight, low level, and you'll rinse and repeat while leaving your main zones alone. And then once you have all your exteriors shot down, you can move on to leaving those alone and going back to your mains. So now that your solos are shot down and your exteriors are shot down, you can go back to your mains, set back up on your mains, and you can shoot off all your dimes that you've had stacked in your mains. Now, because your solos are all small weight, low level animals, and your exteriors are all small weight, low level animals, when you cycle through your main zones that you set up in the beginning, you're going to see a consistent higher respawn of max level dime potential animals in your main zones. That's the fundamental principle of herd management. It's manipulating your map to spawn diamonds more frequently and increase your chances of getting a great one. And that's the foundation of herd management in the Hunter Call of the Wild. It's not simply about killing everything you see. You want to build your population, manipulate your zones, and concentrate your best opportunities exactly where you want them. Once you get your setup dialed in, the grind becomes a completely different ball game. So if you're working towards getting more diamonds or a great one, this system is the system you want to understand. And if this video helped you out, smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what species are you currently herd managing. I'm the Boogeyman, and I'll see you in the next one.